Hey YouTube, my fans, a few of them. The name of this beer is Jabberwocky Ale. I didn't come up with the name. It was kind of hard to find little details about this, although it does say on the side, it's an English style ale. This is brewed by Walkabout Brewing Company in Medford, Oregon. For those who don't know, Medford, Oregon is Southern Oregon. According to the label, the brewery has been around since 1997, so about 20 years now. Here's what the bottle looks like. Walkabout Brewing Jabberwocky Ale. Pretty basic, isn't it? It's like some guy holding a spear. Jabberwocky is an English-style ale brewed in 7-barrel batches, like everybody else says, using the finest hops, barley water, and ale yeast. Here's what I was reading right there. Is it? Oh man, I thought you'd be able to read that. It's kind of clear, I guess. Anyway, that's why I read right there. I'm guessing it's annual, or all year, anyway. I want to say it's around $4. I can't tell you what's in the malt, what to perhaps expect. I've had English ales before. Typically they're medium body, maybe a full body. The alcohol content, oh, it is high. It's 7%. Well, to me that's high. No idea what the IBUs are, but it should not be hoppy at all. An English style ale, I tend to find a little bit on the malty side. I'm guessing this is going to be a copper and amber color. Most English ales I've found are mild. They're not hoppy at all. They could be a little sweet. They could be fruity. They can be malty, caramel, what have you. They're kind of all over the place, but they're not bitter. It just says English style ale, though. Which one? There's not just one. Oh, I was right. I was pretty accurate about the color. Right on. There's a color. I said I was expecting either an amber or a copper color. To me, it's more of an amber, and it's a fairly dark one. Now, what you see on screen is a little bit darker than I see. Okay, what you're seeing there is what I see. When I pull it back, it's a little bit darker, but up close, yeah, that's the accurate color right there. Very cloudy, murky. I can see my finger on the other side. I don't think you'll be able to, no, well, okay, see that? Yeah, so that's what I get to. Nothing floating in it, no particles. Thin head. It came out a little bit thicker than that. It's died down. It was about 1/8 of an inch, not less. Teasing caramel toffee on the nose. It's a very pleasant smell, but it's such a tease in it. If I wasn't drawing it in, I wouldn't notice. There may be even a little bit of maltiness in the nose. I don't get any real sweetness out of it, no hops. I'm not getting no floral, nothing else at this point. It balloons up my mouth, covers the roof of my tongue equally. It's just kind of everywhere. The malt is very forward in it. I mean, it's very present. It's not like a punch in the face. I think it's full body. There is a little bit of that toffee candy sweetness. A little bit of a dark candy in there too. What I can tell though is, yeah, the malts just are very pronounced. It covers my mouth and it just dies down, but very slowly. A little bit of chewiness to it. It makes me think of the heaviness of a stout without being a stout. It's like a dark winter beer. It has a nice texture. A very nice mouthfeel. There's no hop presence anywhere at all. Everything I get from it is from the malt. It makes me think of, say, dark holiday candies. This would be like you're eating it, it'd be like you're walking past it and you get those scents in the air. There's a simple sweetness to it, but very little. Tiny bit of a burnt flavor back there. At least that's what I'm guessing. Maybe it's roasted. The mouthfeel is very thick, chewy. I wouldn't say very much of a complex beer. It's not simple, but it's getting to be complex. It has a very solid mouthfeel. This beer does have character to it. I wouldn't say it's full of life, but it stands out. When I sip it, it's like the maltiness is the very first thing I get, and that sticks around for a while. And then the background, that little bit of roasted or maybe burnt sugar, it comes up a little bit, but stays in the background and just, it all just kind of fades away. I'd say 80-90% of my tongue, the rest of the roof of my mouth, but it's pretty similar. Still that malty, chewy, toffee, caramel, grainy, roasted in the background that I can taste. I still don't notice any bitterness. What I'm tasting, that part in the background, somebody could mistake that for bitterness, but I don't think that's what it is. I'd be wrong for the English ale style. I think that's malt. Overall, I'd say it's the same. Nothing tastes off in this beer at all. I don't get any sour notes, any chemical, diacetyl, which is buttery, astringency. There's no fusel alcohols, nothing sharp like that. That little bit of sharpness like I talked about, or the burnt flavor, I'm sure that's from the malts. It doesn't taste oxidized or skunked or anything like that. It tastes solid and well done. I've had one English mild a long time ago, and I don't remember it that well. Normally, I don't drink English beers just because I like German and Belgian beers. It's not the best representation. It's not great. It's not amazing. I think it's average or maybe a little below that, but still not a bad beer. So would I buy it again? I would buy an occasional bottle of it. Yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way for it or seek it out, but if I happen to be there, it's the right price, I'd pick up a bottle or two, no problem. Would I recommend it? I would recommend this. I think you'd be pleased with it, yeah. Walkabout Brewing Company, Medford, Oregon, Jabberwocky Ale. That's just a strange label. I'm still trying to get over that. So if you've had this beer or have any comments or thoughts or input, feedback otherwise, let me know. I like to read them. That's all I have for this review. I'm going to finish off this pretty good beer and probably switch to something else. Cheers.